Hello, hello, my beautiful, beloved women of certain age. This is your host, Dr. Angelika Christie, of the show, Your Radiant Life After 45. It's a show for women who want more from life. And since you are on this incredible global platform, the only platform where you have free interactions with the best of the best, people in all areas of life, coaches and business advisors and health, in relationships, all over. I believe there are 50 different categories that you have access to on this incredible platform, winwinwomen.tv. And so it is my honor and my absolute joy and my purpose to share with you what I know. There is quite a large a number of episodes that you can pick from just in my category, which is for mature women in their health, their relationships, when it comes to their spirituality. I call it the triad of life. And as you can see today, I am traveling again. I come to you from Florida, from a hotel. And I want to connect that to what I want to share with you today. It is on my heart. It has been on my heart for a very long time. But I always thought I need more information. I need more research. And this is ongoing, of course. As you may know, I'm a relationship coach. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I'm a Reiki master teacher. But today I come to you as all of it, but mainly as a naturopathic doctor. Naturopathy means wellness, healing the body or supporting the body, mind and spirit. But I'm talking about the physical body today, to be as healthy and as vibrant as it can be. So to maximize your health throughout your freedom years, which I call the second part of your life. After 50, your freedom years should start. And then after 70, I am beyond 70, you really have embraced your freedom years. But then the question is, what are you going to do with it? And do you have the health in your body to live full out, to enjoy your life with zest, and make new connections and new relationships, have new projects, be creative and know what you really want in your life. Live unapologetically. That's really what life is all about. The further you go in your life, the less you are apologizing for anything. Am I right? So I have a little bit of a heavy heart because I have been going through some stuff lately. And I don't know if any of you have been diagnosed with long COVID. And what does that really mean? I have been, and even after I just 2 or 3 days, 2 days ago, had a visit with the top cardiologist here in Florida at the Mount Sinai hospital, because my symptoms are unexplainable. My symptoms are very confusing. I feel good sometimes, but let's say I feel all right most of the time, but then I feel good sometimes, but then I feel really bad for no particular reason too often. that's not me. My heart rate has been dropping at, pretty low, which is not good. Of course, that creates fatigue and that creates anxiety, because you are really not in control of your energy, of your body. Anyway, so on my island where I live in the Bahamas, I actually had to get into the emergency room of the hospital about 10 days ago, because my heart rate was so low that it was in the dangerous rate. Why is that? And nobody really could find it. So I got to the best of the best. And of course, my research is also going on. Could this be stemming or having been induced or having been triggered in my system from COVID? Because I had COVID just right at the beginning in 2020, early 2020. And then on top of it, even though I did not want to have vaccination because I had COVID so badly and for so long, I mean, for almost half a year, I was really, really bad. So I felt that my body had produced enough antibodies. And I do understand that viruses or viri change and there are new, because they mutate. A virus is a living organism and it wants to survive, and it can only survive with the host to which it attaches so that it can multiply. And then when it gets, you know, when all kinds of measures are taken to kill it, it will fight back. It would fight back by changing, just shifting some of it. That's why we have so many different kinds of COVID. I think Omicron was the latest. I'm not sure. It may be even later ones, but there is one after the next, after the next, after the next. So I have always been super healthy. I have always been able to not only take full breaths, but have a very extended lung capacity. All of that changed into minimizing it 50% less, and this and this and that. And the fatigue that I experience is really severe sometimes. And so many other things. Heart, right? So lungs, heart, my brain. I had it, COVID triggered a TIA. That's a mini stroke. COVID triggered the shingles numerous times in me. And after I got the first vaccination, I had a TIA again, and I had the shingles again. So my body has been reacting very badly against this virus. And then the same, badly, and I mean badly, it has just revolted, it has just rejected almost the vaccination. So here I am now in for a week already, and probably staying another week to really get totally checked out. And I had already a lot of checkups, and I have made a decision to go on the eradication of the spike protein, because that's what the virus, what the COVID virus does. It has proteins, spike proteins, that attach themselves to within your body. Anyway, I want to share some reading with you that I have been doing, and it will explain some of the things a little more. The good news is there is something that actually can can get rid of that spike protein from your body. Nothing is quick, okay? This is really getting rid of a whole lot of stuff, also a lot of toxins, and there are different programs. But let me just ask you something. Before the vaccine was released to the public as not how vaccines are usually released after they have been studied, maybe for a decade, and carefully tested. No, the COVID vaccination was developed in warp speed and then released as fast as possible. And then at least 3 medical pharmaceutical companies started to compete. You know, they all released it. Did they test it enough? How could they? We were all guinea pigs. So if you have not been experiencing COVID, if you have not been infected and didn't take any vaccination, congratulations. Your system is probably really, really, really strong. But if you have, like I have, I mean, it never made sense to me since I had COVID so badly that I needed the vaccination on top of it, which made me horrifically ill. But that was the only way, and everybody has been almost forced into it. You had to fight against not being vaccinated, right? So I want to share something with you. With the majority of the worldwide population now fully vaccinated, people are facing the unprecedented challenge of coping with a jab-induced spike injury. That's the spike. Those are the proteins, the spike proteins that the vaccination released into everybody who got it, right? The world has never seen a virus with a spike protein that is so toxic to the system, to the body, nor has the world population seen a vaccine with so many firsts, such as being the first to use the mRNA technology against an infectious virus. It is the first injection of genetically modified polynucleotides to be used on a large population. It is the first to use a laxative polyethylene glycol in the injection. It is also the first coronavirus vaccine to be attempted in human beings, while also being the first vaccine to be administered on greater than 66% of the entire world population. On top of these firsts, this is the first product for Moderna to bring to the market and the first vaccine to be approved by the US Food and Drug Administration in such an in such a warp speed manner in less than 10 months, unheard of. With such a novel technology, the chance of success is predicted to be no more than 2%, which is consistent with virologists warning that it's theoretically unfeasible to make a vaccine for an RNA virus like SARS-CoV-2 because the virus mutates so fast. And this is precisely the reason an RNA virus vaccine has never been accomplished for HIV, SARS, CoV, MERS, CoV, hepatitis C, and so on. So with such an unprecedented, risky vaccine, it is not surprising to see so many unexpected, serious adverse events, since the launch of the first COVID-19 vaccine in early 2021. You see, I got that in 21 because I got COVID in 20. And the first moment that vaccine came out, I was almost pushed into getting the vaccine because otherwise I would be stuck on my little beautiful island, but stuck. I couldn't leave. I couldn't enter the United States. You had to be vaccinated. So that vaccines are safe and effective. That vaccination. It's not like when you are vaccinated against tetanus or polio or the mumps or any of these, that has been studied for a very long time, and you get one vaccination, and that's it for life. While with the tetanus, I think it's every 10 years. But with this vaccine, it came out, you had to get it, you had to get a second one, and you had to get a booster and another booster. It went on and on and on. So the question is, how does immunity work? Well, what really horrifies me, that the health system, especially in the United States, has really not been focusing on telling people how to improve and boost their immune system. I mean, wouldn't you think that this would be the most logical way to protect yourself against disease? They didn't do that. They just said, just wait a little longer. We are almost ready to release the vaccine, and then you will be safe. No, we were not safe. And that vaccine did a lot of damage. And it's coming out even more and more and more, because so many suffering illnesses that cannot be explained in any other way now have been pointing to COVID and the vaccine. So I want to share with you, how does immunity work? Before getting started on healing, one must first know a few things about the spike protein's unnatural injection into the body's immune system. What happens then? So most doctors and scientists understand the power and complexity of the immune system. The immune response is divided into innate immunity, the enormously effective biology we are born with, and the adaptive immunity, which acquires training following exposure to a pathogen. Because, you know, every time you get sick and you recover, your immune system has just strengthened. And you probably don't get sick from that anymore, because your immune system recognizes that bacteria, that pathogen, that whatever it is, and immediately sends out the army to destroy it. That's your innate protection system, your immune system that fights against foreign bodies, injuries, pathogens, by using natural bacteria-killing substances. Skin protection on the outside, mucous membranes protection on the inside, and the first responders, the scavenger cells or natural killer cells. The body is already wired to take on whatever intruder tries to break in, or whatever that intruder, whatever havoc that intruder has in mind. Your body's innate intelligence knows which invaders belong in the body and which are ones that cause trouble, because we also have things coming into our body that are beneficial. We have billions of cells, single cells, living on the surface of our skin, in our mouth. These are intruders, but the body knows whether they are beneficial or not. And they only kill those that are not beneficial. So when somebody gets sick, they use their adaptive immune system as a pathogen fighter or defense against changed body cells. So the natural adaptive immune system uses defense cells in the bloodstream called the B lymphocytes, the B cells, and antibodies as well as defense cells in the tissue called T lymphocytes. You know, they are in the lymph system, the T cells, to make sure the body never has to deal with that particular pathogen again. They're so smart. They know the signature of that and recognize it immediately the next time it tries to invade the body. So different immune cells work together to fight against infections in a collaboration, coordinating a system. It's almost operating like the Navy SEALs. Yes, just imagine that. You have Navy SEALs in your killer cells, in your defense system, in your immune system, working for you. But you see, here is what happens. With that, with the vaccination, your body received a spike protein that is very difficult. Your body has a lot of difficulty getting rid of that, almost impossible. And that spike protein, that's all through your bloodstream, all through your body, is creating havoc. And it's toxic. It's toxic to the body. Okay. So if you have heard of vaccine injuries, there is not much said in the out in the public, in the media, because they're so afraid that they will be shut down, because there is pharma behind that. There is a huge power that does not want you to know any of this. So something very interesting, the VP of Pfizer, the former Pfizer VP, Michael Yeldon, told the Epoch Time. He said, people who push the idea of universal vaccination for this vaccine, COVID vaccine, he said, are guilty of crimes against humanity. Pfizer, who's probably the #1 provider of that vaccine, having selected spike protein to be expressed, a protein which causes blood clotting in the initiated, a risk of thrombosis, right? Adverse effects. But that was put into the vaccine. There is so much to say about that. Please get in touch with me if you want to know more about this. There is a lot of scientific literature out there. I will be happy to send you PDF. It's 16 pages, so I cannot share this all in one here. But I think it is always good to be informed. I am not telling you, I'm not making you so scared that you say, I don't want any vaccine. You still have to talk to your health provider. Now, when I say health provider, there are medical doctors, and then there are wellness doctors. Let me put it this way. The typical medical doctor gives you pharmaceutical stuff, burns, cuts, and all of that. And that is sometimes necessary, but only in emergencies. They don't prevent anything. They don't heal anything unless you have a medical doctor. There's a functional doctor that is also a naturopathic doctor in a way. I mean, wants to know the cause of whatever ailment you have and wants to alleviate the cause, not get something to cover up or alleviate the symptoms. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I mean by that? So find a really good functional medicine doctor who is not, they are not all the same. Some are still narrow-minded, but others really understand what's going on today. And these are also the doctors who don't just see you for 15 minutes or half an hour. They take their time with you. The ones I have been finding now take 3 or 4 hours, whatever time is needed to really get a full picture so that they can really understand what is going on for me in my body and can, focus what is correct for me, not for everybody else. Okay, so this was a little bit unusual. I understand this. And some of you may be happy that I spoke so openly and candidly, and others may be offended or maybe may have a negative reaction. Please forgive me, but I needed to get this off my chest. I'm not only personally suffering with long COVID, but as a naturopath, I am also helping others to get the right information, to find the right professionals to help them get over this hideous infliction on their health. And too many are still dying, and it's not necessary. I am finding more and more information about how to get this spike protein out of my system. Okay, so this is all I have for you today. Thank you for being with me. You have no idea how much it means to me when you are listening to me and when you are live with me, so that we can have a discussion afterwards in the second part of this hour. If not, you can always get in touch with me and we can have that discussion one-on-one or in groups. And don't forget that I have a Facebook group which has kind of the same name, Radiant Life Over 45, a Facebook group. I invite you to join my group because there we discuss everything concerning your health, your relationships, your spirituality, everything, anything and everything that creates a radiant life in the second part of your journey in this lifetime. All of my love to you. Bye-bye for now.